Well, rapidly we reach the end of our course. This is the last lesson that doesn't deal with crazy square roots. This is really the last lesson that will appear on your final exam. Percents is the last topic that we sincerely and seriously concern ourselves with. One lesson after this on irrational numbers, but that is not on our final exam. So if you're watching this, it is because you have read and you have done, oh, you've done example one, right? This is example one. You've read it and you've even taken a look at example two and you've done these questions and you're like, well, what are the answers to those questions? And I'm glad to fill those in. 3/8 as a percent. So 3/8 as a decimal is 0.375, which converts to 37.5%. And 28% is a fraction in lowest terms. Well, percent means out of 100. So then we divide by 4 and divide by 4. And then 0.7 is a percent. That's just this jump. 0.7, we kick that over 2 places. It's 70%. So these are things that we're supposed to know how to do. Then I included questions of 3 types. There are 3 types of percent questions. There's the kind where we know the total, but we don't know the part. We don't know the part's up here. Then there's the kind of question where we know the part, right? There were 48 vanilla milkshakes sold, but we don't know the total number of milkshakes sold, so we know the part, but not the whole. And so that looks like this. And then there's the question where we know the part and we know the whole, but we don't know the percent. Those are the only 3 kinds of percent problems that exist because generally it's part over whole is percent over 100. So there's only 1, 2, 3 possible things that we could be looking for in a percent problem. So examples 6, 7, and 8, all of which came from grade 6 exams in the state of New York, illustrate that's what to do when we don't know the part, that's what to do when we don't know the whole, that's what to do when we don't know the percent. And so then we have these on your own questions, and so we're trying to figure out what those could be. So let's do that. Kate has a coin collection. She keeps 7 coins in a box. That's 5% of her entire collection. What's the total number of coins in Kate's coin collection? So here we are looking for the total number of coins. That's the thing we don't know. We don't know the total number of coins. We do know that she keeps 7 in a box. And we do know that those 7 coins represent 5% of her coin collection. 5% of her coin collection. So then we cross multiply. 5C is 700, and that means that C is 140. There are 140 coins in Kate's coin collection. And then 10A and 10B hit the other 2 kinds of questions. I'll go orange. Why not? Right? Oh, sorry. That's okay. Sorry. So there are 1,600 seats. 85% of the total were sold. So the 85%, that's a part. That's the part where we don't know how many tickets were sold. We know there are 1,600 seats. And you can do the cross multiplication here. It's not terribly difficult. and find out that there are 1,360 tickets sold. And that makes sense. That's a part of the whole. It's not the whole, but it's close, and we know that 85% is close to 100%. So we'd expect an answer that was less than 1,600, but only slightly. Here over in Atlantic Auditorium, there are 850 seats. 816 of them were sold. So what percent is that? Well, you could set up a proportion. It's not terribly difficult. That's the part of the theater for which tickets were sold. That's the capacity of the theater. It's equal to the percent over 100. And so you can do the cross multiplication yourself, but it is 96%. That's your idea there. So these are the three kinds of questions: the part where we don't know the whole, the part where we don't know the part, and the part where we don't know the percent. These are the only three kinds of percent questions that can ever be asked of anyone, because those are the only three possible variables that exist in a percent problem. A couple of questions off of the American Math Contest for 8th graders on down. It's called the AMC 8 in the vernacular. So you've got a question here asking what percentage of the males surveyed listen to the station. So we would have to have some ratio of males that listen to the station and males overall. Sadly, we don't know either of those. So how could we figure this out? Well, this plus 96 has to be 200. That's got to be that. And then these are all the males there are, right? Those are the ones that don't listen. So these are the ones that do. And so when we go to our calculator and divide 78 by 104, we get approximately 0.75, blah, blah. Like it's approximate. It's about 0.75, and that's about 75%. The other question was about Antoinette. Nice job, Antoinette. Getting 70% on the short test and then doing a little bit better when it got longer and really well when it was long. So here's the thing. There are 60 problems on the whole enchilada. How many did Antoinette get right? Well, she got 70% out of the first 10. So that's 7. And she got 80% of the 20 problem test. So wait a minute. 80% is 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is 16 out of 20. And then 90%, that's 9 out of 10. But there was a 10 and a 10 and a 10. So she got a 9 and a 9 and a 9, like so. And that's 50 out of 60. And that's 83%. So super important for you to know. Those are the only kinds of percent problems there are, and those are the only kind of percent problems we did. We found a percentage here, we found a percentage here, but those are the only kinds of percent problems there are, and those are the kinds of percent problems that we did. Hope this is helpful to you, and we'll see you soon.